back in the saddle.
Right? We never left. Where have you guys been? Jeez. Welcome back to the Eternal Baseball Podcast. It's been a while. We're your hosts, Mark and Brent. We've been running Eternal Baseball now, starting for our 4th season. We added a bunch of fans, a bunch of viewers in the off season. So if it's your first time, welcome. If you're not here yet, where are you, man? It's the best 60 minutes of baseball you'll get all week, especially in the off season. And that's kind of how we roll. The trick for Eternal Baseball is it's the best baseball ever. It's the best players of all time, all simultaneously at their athletic peak, competing for an Eternal championship. And since we're only 5 games in, hope springs eternal, unless you live in Tampa. So we will get into it, and then run over what's going on in the league this week. And then we'll play our game of the week live. This week it's Braves at Mets. So we'll be in the Big Apple. We try to make sure every team gets featured at least once during the season. So if your team hasn't been on yet, it's week 1. Take it easy, man. But we will get to you. Everybody has their chance in the Sunday night spotlight.
That display case is outstanding, man.
Right? I picked this up since the last time we were here. I put some baseball stuff on the top, but you can hardly see. I got some Gwynn and Ted Williams, and
it looks sharp. It's putting me to shame, man. I just got
right.
some
random
things hanging from my mech room here.
I wasn't trying to show off or nothing, but
a little bit of like forewarning would have been nice, actually.
Right?
I could have cleaned things up a little bit.
I've been cleaning up my basement. I have one like shelf at the moment, just where stuff has been put, and I have all my sports stuff on one shelf. So I'm like, hey, cool, I can grab from here, and none of these were purchased. They were all gifts, but I have 3 autographed baseballs in my collection. Ricky Henderson, my favorite player ever. Andy Pettit, which was just a gift from somebody. And Alex Rodriguez, which I got from one of his marketing agents when I worked at McFarland Toys. And that was like 2003. It was a much bigger deal back then. So
yeah, wait, that's Rangers, or is that?
Yeah. And it was, when we thought, well, he'll break. Yeah, I think that was right when Bonds was about to break the record, right? And we were like, well, he'll hold it for a while, but A-Rod will get him. Yeah. There wasn't enough rocket fuel out there, apparently, to send that ship to the moon. But it is the start of the Eternal Baseball season.
Yeah. Welcome, Dave. We have got our first comments of the new season.
Oh, now here we go. Hold on. I'm in the wrong spot. Let's see if I even remember how to do this. There we go. We did get a lot of help when we always say it sounds a little trite, but we've used the line forever because it's true. We'll never know any team better than their diehard fans. So if you see a batting order that doesn't make sense, if there's a player that we've forgotten, just let us know. We're on Facebook, we're on X, that's new. We're on you can get everything at eternalbaseball.com. We have message boards dedicated to each team. So if you're a Phillies fan, you don't have to put up with any Mets fans. If you're a Mets fan, you don't have to put up with any Philly fans, that kind of stuff. But yeah, let us know. We take suggestions all the time. Matter of fact, we have the Twins and the Tigers this year had their lineup set by fans, how they want the batting orders to go. And that's great. Let us know. And the cool thing about the program we use, and we always give it pub, it's action with an exclamation point, PC Baseball from DK Sports. I think that's dksports.com. You can run your own Eternal Baseball if you want to put a couple thousand hours to inputting the stats. But we use the best 3 consecutive seasons average for every player. So it really is every player at their peak. But it does mean that short-term, skyrocket brilliance can be more valuable than sustained excellence, right? Like Dave Concepcion just made the Reds roster this year, even though he was a dynamite player for 20 years, right, for Cincinnati, whereas a guy who was just ridiculous for 3 or 4, Reggie Sanders, right, is on the Reds roster because at his peak, he was almost unparalleled, which is weird to say for a team like Cincinnati. But anyway, we miss players every now and again, just guys who are off our radar or guys that were spectacular. but not Hall of Famers. Trying to think of the guy for the Pirates. We just added him this week. Oh man, he's a pitcher from the '70s who threw a no-hitter on LSD.
Oh, Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis, that's it. Fantastic career, but a real spike peak in it. So he fits. He should have been on Pittsburgh this whole time. Boston has a dynamite team, but a kind of middling bullpen. And someone mentioned Koji Uehara, who was fantastic as their closer for a couple years. So anytime you see somebody we're missing, let us know. We want every team to be as competitive as possible. We appreciate it. Lester dropping in. It's good to see some new blood.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Here for the podcast. So let me get the right window up here. So here we go. Hey, it worked. So this is the main page. This is what comes up whenever we boot up the program. So it gives you, the standings over there on the left, and then your leaders over here on the right, which is a combined NL AL leaderboard. It's nice to see Pujols had slowed down because he was hitting 760 after the first series, and Ted Williams was going show off.
Right.
But it's early enough that most of the ERA league leaders are all at 0, and we're just getting started here.
Nice to see Dave Parker up there, though, huh?
Yeah. And it's weird because Parker gets squeezed for playing time, right? Because you can play Clemente in center, but there's very few guys who are rated a 10 defensively. Like real defensive stats go into the program, lots of them, but they kind of base it down to an overall number, a snapshot of them. And there aren't too many 10s in the whole game. And Clemente's a 10 in right field. And you've also got Stargell, who can play a kind of disappointing first, and to be honest, a kind of disappointing left. And then you've got McCutcheon in the outfield, and then you've got Paul Wainer, who's a Hall of Famer with ridiculous numbers. So it's actually hard to find room for Dave Parker, which, I mean, he was good forever, but he was lightning for a couple years when on the We Are Family team. So it's always good to see new guys popping up. Like Ernie Witt, tied for the league lead in home runs. Good for you, Ernie. Got that notorious fence buster. But let's see if this will pop. Yeah, here we go. So I always call this the eye chart because it really is. You got to really get in there to see anything. But this means something as the season goes along. We track the records per week, and the teams that are doing really well get highlight in yellow, and the teams that had a tough week get highlight in purple. Now, again, 5 games isn't going to make or break a season, but over time, if your team has a lot more pink than yellow, it's probably been a rough year. And don't take it personal. It's just the nature of the beast that teams that have been around longer tend to do better in eternal baseball because they have more players to choose from. So it isn't that the legend, the really vintage teams always win, but they hardly ever lose, right? Like they're almost always at 500 unless the wheels totally come off. And one of the reasons we tested a bunch of different simulation softwares before we went live. But the thing we liked most about DK Sports is they have a randomizer that goes into effect every year where every player's numbers get modified anywhere between 30% up or down. And it's different for every player every year. And that number can't be seen or modified by anybody. So you only notice it by literally noticing it, by going, how can Charlie Gehringer was the guy last year for the Tigers, Hall of Fame second baseman, who was hitting $180, damn near the All-Star break. And the only reason that would happen is if his numbers really had a restrictor plate put on them by the program. And that's fine because guys have off years. Imagine Charlie jammed his shoulder in spring training and didn't get the surgery he should have. So half the way through the year, fine, we'll call up Lou Whitaker to take over at second base.
Lou, love it.
Pretty much everybody's got depth, and that's where the fans can be super helpful to their team because we try to catch that stuff, but try watching 32 teams at once, right? So if you see something going a little weird with your favorite team, or a guy who's dynamite, who's maybe in a platoon, who should have a job full time, let us know. We'll absolutely make a change if it makes statistical sense.
Perfect.
So
Welcome,
here,
Rob. Yeah, great to have you, Lester. And then
oh, look at
Rob's
that.
in the house.
Fan,
Welcome.
number one fan, Rob Azar, the only guy we ever banned from the podcast.
That's right.
When we had a Russian bot show up suddenly next to him, and I panicked. I'd never banned anything before, so I banned everything, I think, including Rob. Rob's a good friend from our my What's on Your Mind, or the What's on Your Mind podcast I sit in on Tuesday nights, but big baseball fan and always helpful for us. But take a look. Oh, look at this. Yeah. So I fight with the Royal fans regularly.
This has got to be the most contentious guy, right? Of all
Yeah.
of them? Yeah.
Frank, man, people for Frank.
I know Concepcion is pops up every now and again.
Yeah, and Campaneris. For Oakland. Gotta have Campy. You don't want Tejada? No, don't want Tejada. I want Campy.
Yeah, welcome, Cameron. Got some new
yeah.
faces. Love it.
Hey, good to see you guys. Thanks for showing up. It's a bit of the twist, and I don't get mad ever. It's just explaining how our game works. Is that a guy who was sensational for 20 years, Jose Akendo, right? Cardinals legend. He's never making a turtle base. Right? You have to be white hot for a short period of time, and that's your ticket in. And then there are guys like Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, who are white hot pretty much their whole career. That's good too, but you can get in with a crazy spike, and that's just how the game works. We're not saying these are the best players of all time. We're saying that these guys, you lined up for whoever your favorite team is, line up all their luminaries on the same field at their peak, and who are you picking for a team to play 1 year to win one title? That's what eternal baseball is all about. So look at this. What do we got here? Royals. Oh
man, it's going to be a contentious comment section.
I always had a soft spot for the Royals because I love their ballpark.
Yeah,
right? I think Kauffman Stadium's phenomenal. I've never been, but the waterfalls and everything, that's great. The fact that they survived on 115-degree turf in the summer, more power to them. But where I get into it with Royals fan, yeah, Frank White, yeah. They want, even when there are statistically better options, and I show them to them, they go, I don't want Jorge Soler and his 40 homers in left field. I have to have Alex Gordon and his 28 homers. Better defense, give you that. But our Whit Merrifield, whose isolated stats, career peak is much higher than Frank White. They do not want to hear it. So, and now the one they fought for a couple of years ago, Amos Otis, is a fantastic center fielder. Now they don't want him anymore. It has to be Willie Wilson. How can you not have Willie Wilson in center field? Okay, fine. So I've been trying to salt those guys into the KC lineup more and more.
Oh, and nice.
I'll be honest, Alex Gordon's on friggin' fire. So, okay, we'll see. We'll see, Royal fans.
I got a soft spot. Yeah, I think when growing up in Bend, I don't know if you remember, we go to Pegasus Books, man. Every single 85 Topps baseball card pack we opened had a Brett Saberhagen in it.
Oh man!
So that alone, I've got a soft spot.
Royals. Yeah, well, and then Saberhagen was awesome because every other year you could trade his card. You could buy low, sell high on Brett Saberhagen because he went to Jekyll and Hyde for a couple of years. Let's see. Yeah, he agrees with me. Well, of course he does. All right, well, we'll get the Royals on the air here at some point. The Cubs are off to a great start, by the way. There's a segue. We have 4 5-0 teams, and one of them's on the podcast tonight. We will have Braves at Mets here in just a minute. But the Braves, the Orioles, the Cubs, and the Pirates are a perfect 5-0 to start the eternal baseball season. And the teams struggling, San Diego. I'm sorry, Padre fans. I was hoping to give you a little break.
A little glimpse.
Yeah, between the disappointing year and the trade of Juan Soto, I want to give you something to be excited about. So far, kind of rough for the Padres and the Rays. And again, when I say expansion team, I think most baseball fans would cut that off at Diamondbacks and Rays, right? Like anything else is a long time ago. But if you consider the Dodgers, the Phillies, the A's, the Yankees, the Red Sox, Cubs, they're pulling from more than 100 years of baseball to build their rosters. So even the Royals, even the Mets, the Rangers, those are expansion clubs as far as eternal baseball is concerned. And all those guys have a more difficult task ahead of them. No one has it harder than the Washington Nationals, because when we built the league, we took the 30 current pro franchises in Major League Baseball, but we kept the Expos as a separate squad from the Nationals. So the national squad is only pulling from 2005 to current. That's a very shallow waiting pool.
Nick Johnson
is on the team, which tells you something. Not hurt yet, but I'll keep you posted. And then the last team we made, we created a team called the Birmingham Knights, and they are the greatest players in the history of the Negro Leagues. And that's always been one of our favorite things, is the chance for those legends to get what they should have always had, the chance to play against other major league talent every night. So, and they're off to a rough start. They had a bad year last year, but they're in a notoriously kind of weak division. And we created 4 equal divisions with 4 teams in it. They're in the American League South with Texas, Kansas City, and Tampa. So it is all kind of expansion teams. If you consider Birmingham an expansion team. So anyway, that's what we have rolling here for our weekly. That'll get more interesting as we go along. But for today, it's a bit of a walk to get to the schedule, but I'll show you how it works. The only bummer, and I'll see if I can, they're very responsive, the people at DK Sports. When I go to play a game, it always loads up the January schedule, which is great, except our season starts in November. So it takes a little while to get to it. But our opening days are always on Tuesday. We play every game. Everybody plays every day except Fridays. Fridays are our off day. That's when the Eternal Baseball newsletter gets sent out. So if you'd like to get some stories and unique content, you need to sign up for that newsletter. And that's as easy as going to eternalbaseball.com. It's totally free. Just type in the email you want it sent to, and it'll arrive. Oops, I went too far. On Friday afternoons. So here we are. We played the Sunday games. We always post the box scores and the players' day in the morning. So we're actually playing the first game off the Monday schedule. So this is from Monday, November 20th. And it's Braves and Mets. So it was the graphic I put up was the James Bond logo with Tommy Bond in it, because the Braves have Tommy Bond scheduled to start tonight, and nobody knows who Tommy Bond is. Pitched in the 1880s. Was born in, I looked it up, let's see, 1856 in Ireland. He's pure-born Irish, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, and apparently when he was started pitching, pitchers could throw overhand or underhand, and the batter could request a high or a low strike. So totally different game.
Could it request the strike zone?
Yeah, they could request whether they wanted a high pitch or a low pitch.
Oh, wow. So it truly was a gentleman's game.
Absolutely. Aside from all the brawling, probably.
Yeah, you know that Irishman threw some heads, man.
Totally, right? So they said that Tommy Bond threw really fast for the time compared to the other pitchers, and he threw sidearm. So he was really hard to pick up in a league where you were already having to work with, is this guy underhand or overhand? Well, this guy was neither. And he pitched for quite a while, he threw like some 500 innings years. This is back when there was no such thing as a pitching rotation. They were like, who's your pitcher? Oh, Tommy. Tommy pitches. Fine. And after he retired, he umpired for a few years. Because back then, you got to have a job, right? And
yeah, right. There's no retirement.
Better than meatpacking. So anyway, I got to open him up here because he's on the inactive roster for some reason.
Yeah, that's what it means. Cameron just had a quick question about.
Oh, IA. IA means inactive. Every team has 40 players on it, like a 40-man roster, and 14 of them are inactive, essentially in the minors. So, and the computer controls each team. So, We set it up, but sometimes they make changes. Well, there's no way Tommy Bond with a 2.05 ERA is not in their starting rotation. So, and we get this occasionally. Like that guy couldn't have played in today's game, and on some level, I agree with that. But 100 years from now, some kid on telepathic Twitter is going to put up an idea, and it's going to say Tony Gwynn wasn't that great. He couldn't have played in today's game, right? I tend to think the level of play obviously has risen, but I think the greats could have played any time. And I think if you'd given Ted Williams video to review and modern weightlifting and nutrition, and if the guys didn't have to be paper men in the off season, I think these guys would have been okay.
Think how big, Frank Howard would have been.
Right, exactly. Like, come on, Frank Howard, here's a weight room, right? Like, come on.
My goodness.
All right, so it is Tommy Bond with his flying wedge hairdo for Atlanta, and it's Dwight Gooden at the height of his powers. I think Gooden is like 84, 85, 86, Dwight Gooden. So, I mean, ridiculous. So, yeah, that's true too. That's another good point. We don't legislate any of the numbers, right? We figured that would be a slippery slope. So we don't adjust any of the numbers for era. If a guy was a steroid guy or rumored to be a steroid guy, look, a lot higher than us should have legislated that if they wanted to. So not our job.
No morals either.
The numbers are the numbers. And that's another thing. Even more than that, not to toot our own horn, but it's the only place you can see Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson. is in Eternal Baseball. Again, we just said, you know what? The numbers are the numbers. So here they are. So for the Mets,
and Nick Johnson and his cuticles.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah. Oh, poor guy. Yeah, it was bound to happen. Nick the Stick, more like Nick the Sick. Okay, so it's two right-handers. So this is how we kind of put most of the rosters together here. So we sort by their OPS versus right-handers, and then we just kind of build. So if it's Daryl's their best, they'll be cleaning up with Daryl, probably leading off with Beltran. This is weird. Todd Hundley had a great couple of years for the Mets. So two of the Mets' top four hitters are catchers, but you probably don't want to start both of your catchers because you'd have to have one DH, and then it gets tricky. So it's definitely Piazza.
Yeah, your call, man.
Piazza, is he third or fifth, Roto?
The only one I wanted to see in there was Dave Magadan, but apparently
he's
scuffling in the minors.
Yeah, he's not quite up.
We'll get him up there someday.
Oh, hold on a sec. We got suggestions here. Cameron wants David Wright leading off. Let's see what that looks like. Beltran's on base 369, Wright 385. It's not bad. I like Beltran's stolen bases better, but now I remember the way we break this up is with Hernandez in the 2. And that lets us put Wright fifth, and then we're going to switch lefty, right, left, righty. Boy, do Mets fans not like Michael Conforto. Holy smokes, they went nuts on me.
Oregon State, man.
Yeah, that's right. But we knew Conforto's been on the team forever, but I had forgotten about Yanis Cespedes.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
because he had such a injury-crushed career. But his 3-year average is pretty good, but it's only for like 95 games. But he's a righty, Conforto's a lefty. They are a perfect platoon. So as much as Mets fans don't want it, you're getting Conforto in left field. And Alonso at DH. And then Hojo was better than people remember, I think, but his defense is bad everywhere. He's kind of the King Kelly of the Mets.
He's a better version of King Kelly.
Pretty much, right? So for better defense and almost the same offense, that puts Fonzie at second, and then Jose Reyes at short. At second leadoff, batting. All right. So moving over to Atlanta, their OPS versus right-handers. Man, David Justice launches, but he's not active.
Oh, Murph. Got to get Murph in.
Murphy can catch, which is awesome, but he's bad behind the plate. He was like a 9 rating in center field, right? But they had him catching when he first came up. Didn't take him long.
That's amazing
to figure out. But yeah, we can get Murph in there. But let's see. The best, according to them, is Eddie Matthews. And let's see, Chipper Jones. Hugh Duffy was an amazing base stealer. So he fits in nice there. We can go Chipper second. Hank Aaron third. Hank Aaron third.
This lineup, dude.
Ridiculous.
This lineup is
outstanding. Yeah, wow. It puts lefties together, but it looks like Freddie Freeman, who Braves fans are still mad at, I think. Maybe it's softening.
I think it's softened, probably. I mean, he sounded like he was pretty
you know what?
About the whole thing.
It's probably because Matt Olson had such a good year that they're not mad that he's not there anymore, right? Just like, fine. They'll say hi at the reunion, even though they broke up. That's kind of how it works. So McGriff has nowhere to go. Acuna has his new stats, his last year, this MVP season added in, so he's even better than ever. He gives him somebody for left. Wow, and that's why Murphy has trouble. Unless you want to catch him, and he's rated as a 3.
Instead of Javi Lopez, or who's
they have Brian McCann, Joe Torre,
McCann.
and Javi Lopez.
Oh, man.
I mean,
dude, your call. I guess we could bring Murph off the bench.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't put him in because bad catchers hurt you all game, right? If they're bad defensively, so it's actually McCann.
And Cameron's thinking we could get McGriff in there.
Let's see.
But where would Acuna go?
Oh yeah, if you put Chipper in left, but then you're benching Acuna. So and Chipper's bad in left defensively. So I think this is better. I don't think McGriff isn't better than Freeman. So not against right-handers. So I think we're good where we're at. Herman Long, but nobody.
I just can't think of McGriff without that one baseball commercial.
Right? We used to have his Tom Omansky picture up with him. But Hall of Famer. Oh, that's a new thing this year. We added Hall of Fame logos to the photos of guys who are Hall of Famers.
That's a nice touch.
People would go, who the hell is Hugh Duffy? But if you get a Hall of Fame stamp on it, it diffuses that a little.
Gravitas, yeah. We should probably explain the King Kelly to people.
Oh, yeah. King Kelly is, I forget if he's a Cub or a White Sox. I think he's a Cub.
Yeah.
And good hitter, and he's rated as like a 2 defensively at 8 positions. So he'll play. He sneaks his way onto the active roster and into games all the time. Nothing wrong with Hall of Famer King Kelly, right? But
we'll just be playing. He'll be in the minors, and then suddenly he'll be on the active roster, and he'll be in the game getting at bats. Yeah, he pulls a lot of strings.
how is Ryan Sandberg on the bench? Oh yeah, King Kelly gave him the hot foot, right? And weird that the Braves have been around for 140 years, and their best second baseman is Ozzie Albies. So good for him.
Mark Lemke, what are we doing here? Mark
right?
Lemke.
We really got to do.
Is he even on the?
Nothing wrong with Ozzie, right? It's just hard to believe that the current guy is the best ever. But find me another Braves second baseman, and I'm all over it.
All right.
So that's where we're at. Let's fire it up and hope. I think the audio's on, so hopefully you'll hear this. Let's give it a shot.
Welcome to Citi Field, where it's Atlanta against New York. Atlanta has won 5 straight. Tommy Bond gets the start for Atlanta. He's made 1 start on the year and is 1-0 with an earned run average of 1.23. His first start against New York, he'll be opposed by Dwight Gooden for New York. He's made 1 start on the year and is 1-0 with an earned run average of 1.00. His first start against Atlanta. It's 63 degrees, wind speed 8 miles per hour, left to right. Pitching for New York, number 16, Dwight Gooden. Leading off for Atlanta, center fielder, number 18, Hugh Duffy.
Play ball!
So you'll hear a lot of guys as number 18. Basically, if they played in the 1800s, they didn't wear numbers. So I just made them all 18. So there's a lot of vintage 18s out there.
That's some insider baseball right there.
Is it a little too loud? I can kill the audio a bit.
Nah,
It's okay.
it's all right. Yeah.
All right. So we always try to control the home team so that we have Atlanta over to the computer. Once in a while, if the computer is absolutely missing a tiring pitcher for the opponent, or it's a clear pinch hit opportunity for them, we will hop in and try to balance that out. There's some things I'm still learning about the game, but I think there's a toggle switch for never pinch hit for that some guys have on. And late in the game, when you're going lefty righty, you might actually pinch hit for an absolute stud Hall of Famer if we brought in a lefty and he's weaker against left. Whatever. Anyway, you'll get the hang of it. All right, so here we go. Hugh Duffy's a fantastic buncher, so we're not going to fall for that.
I still love that it was his prom photo that you used.
Right? Trying to think. These are too small. Hang on, we got one more option. We can make them bigger heads. Like the big head t-shirts. Oh, that might be too much.
That's a little, yeah.
That's a little much. Yeah. Believe me, I know about having a head that's too big.
Do they still make big heads?
They made my big head.
Or was it fat head? What was the?
Yeah, fat head. I think they still do.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
All right, so
those were a big deal for a while there.
We'll shrink it back down. All right, here we go. Hugh Duffy. Oh, hang on. I did this wrong. Preferences. Atlanta is controlled by the computer. All right, here we go.
An auspicious start.
Right? David Wright.
Designated hitter.
Without hurting
number
himself.
10.
There you go.
See the little Hall of Fame logo up here? Dun, 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 dun.
Nicely done.
Right? Pretty proud of that. Larry.
Did you get it?
Wonder, right? Daryl didn't even move.
Right fielder, number 44.
I'll be honest.
Aaron.
I wasn't sure he was paying attention. Hammer and Hank. Well, all right. Oh, look. Daryl boots it in right.
Third baseman,
And Aaron
number
takes
41, Eddie.
Bruce Bochy. That was a pretty good year for him.
second. Yeah, not bad. Let's see here. Okay, Eddie back.
Strike three.
Pitching for Atlanta, number 18, Tommy Bond. Leading off for New York, center fielder, number 15, Carlos Beltran.
Man,
I didn't see what happened. It froze on me.
Oh, it was ground out. No big deal. It was a punch out. Gooden sat him down. I was distracted by Tommy Bond's flying wedge haircut here. I don't know how much shoe polish he put in that, but good for him. Carlos Beltran, who Mets fans are still mad at for taking that called third strike.
First baseman,
in the playoffs.
number 17, Keith Hernandez.
Great mustache.
There we go.
All right, let's send him.
Right?
Catcher,
Yeah, if you're
number
new to
31,
Turtle Baseball,
Mike Piazza.
Roto's a pretty aggressive offensive coordinator. But we're not sending.
What's
the
he at?
number?
19?
The number here is his percentage chance of being safe. 19.
It froze on me again. Shoot, man. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
19%.
Oh, okay. I guess
Yeah.
we can just hit and run.
Yeah,
No.
we'll just or we could send him, or we could just let Mike Piazza hit in his prime.
Fine.
I'm the wet blanket. But you know what? That doesn't have the distance, so maybe Brent was right.
Right fielder, number 18, Daryl Strawberry.
Again, Strawberry did not play in the 1800s. He earned that 18. Look at that.
Oh, did you get it?
I think he did. He sure did.
Good start.
I mean, how many times do you see it? You make a bonehead error in the top of the first, and then, yeah.
Third baseman, number
I
5.
like Rob's comment about the enlistment foot. That was good.
I mean, he was born in 1856, but in Ireland. So he probably didn't care beans about the Civil War or potatoes, given that he's Irish. There goes.
All right. He's had a couple of good years.
Left fielder, number
92,
30,
Brent.
Michael
92.
Conforto.
Send him.
He's out.
Ah!
First baseman, number 5, Freddie Freeman.
92. Come on now.
I don't regret that. Just at 92 seemed like
Nope.
a sure thing.
Gotta send him. Here's Freddie Freeman. Jose Reyes might catch it. Oh, good for him.
Left fielder, number 13, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Acuna! I got it right.
It was a different era, Cameron. He might have fought a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah.
Catcher, number 16,
I don't think we
Brian
were bringing in
McCann.
6-year-old mercenaries from Ireland, but whatever. Here's Brian McCann. If this game's accurate at all, he's going to massacre this to the right side. Now, I never saw a guy hit maliciously into the shift more than Brian McCann. Holy smokes. Look at that. Double down the line. Here comes Acuna. Oh, Acuna's not going to score. He's going to stop at third.
Shortstop, number 19, Herman Long.
Well, it's 8 and 9 coming up, so these are the guys to get if you're Doc Gooden. And Alfonso boots it. Acuna
Second
scores.
baseman, number 1, Albies.
Still 2-1 Mets.
Yeah, see, Rob supports me on this one. Could have happened. It's plausible.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's a non-zero chance.
Foul ball.
Fouled straight back. 2 strikes on Albies. Looks like Daryl's under that. Will McCann test the arm? All right, throw home. We got an 18% chance to get Brian McCann at home.
But there's a 90% chance he's going to trip on the way to the home plate. So
sometimes they'll let us cut the throw to second, and it's a better chance, but the run scores. So either way, we're throwing, right?
I think so.
Got to. All right, so 18% chance to get the out at home, 29% if we cut it to second, but the run scores.
Let's throw home.
Yeah, I agree with you. Safe. Whatever. So keeping an eye here, you can see Long has a 74% chance to steal third right now because we're not paying attention to him. So a pickoff tends to bring that percentage down. And unlike Major League Baseball, we can throw pickoffs all night if you want. So a couple of things that are different. Unlimited pickoffs, like in the good old days. There's no pitch clock, obviously. There's no 3-batter minimum in Eternal Baseball because that was mainly to cut down on TV time. And we changed our leaders fast. So no big deal. And no ghost runner. We play regular inning playoff extra inning rules. So here's Hugh Duffy. Fantastic bunter. Ooh, he got a lot. But I think Daryl's good. There you go.
I feel like maybe we should be DHing Strawberry.
Yeah, maybe.
He makes me nervous. He's the opposite of Willie Mays out there.
Yeah, I agree with you fielding-wise. But if we DH him, that means we're benching Alonso or Keith Hernandez.
Fair enough.
Hernandez has a brilliant glove at first. So we'll see. Here's Michael Conforto, who Mets fans hate. I guess for stuff like this. They wanted Cleon Jones, who was a big star of
designated
the
hitter,
Mets
number 20,
in their
Pete
69
Alonso.
championship. But he was only a Met for like 4 or 5 years. Like, I don't know. Oh, Pete got a lot of that.
Ooh.
Oh, no, it's over his head. Off the wall.
Second baseman,
Double
number
for Pete.
13, Edgardo Alfonso.
Edgardo Alfonso digs in. 1 out. Grounder to third. Eddie Matthews. Great play. 2 down.
Shortstop, number 7, Jose Reyes.
Fantastic bunter, but with 2 outs, it's probably swinging, yeah?
I don't know. Are you feeling aggressive?
I mean, I don't mean this badly, right? But the pitcher's 170 years old. So
got to try for the base knock, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Look at that.
Is Alonso going to test Acuna's arm? 96% chance to be safe, Roto.
I think we go with it.
Off he goes. He's in. Nothing can get a throw. Now you have Jose Reyes at first.
Steal.
Stop me if you've heard this before. 92% chance to steal second.
Gotta.
Off he goes. He's in there.
All right, we got a third base.
43. You can make Beltran take if you want a different roll of that.
Nah.
Okay.
We need to Beltran will knock him in.
Track 3.
Nope. Here's Chipper Jones with the Mets leading 3-2.
Track 3.
Sitting down. Hank Aaron and Dwight Gooden. Like, come on.
So cool. That's the best part of this game, these matchups.
Absolutely. I love that stuff. So Aaron with a single to right. He's not 66 to steal. Probably not going. Eddie Mack. He did go. And he's in there.
Wow.
I apologize to the entire Aaron family.
Ball 4.
And now
Take
Eddie
your
walks.
base.
I'd walk Eddie Matthews too. I'm not mad at that, but maybe we'll get a double play here. If we hold Matthews, he's less likely to get a good jump. And Freddie Freeman.
Pinfield fly. Batter's out.
Kind of
realistic.
And now we don't have to hold him because there's 2 down for Acuna,
Ball 4.
who walks. Okay.
Come on, Dwight.
Here's Brian McCann looking to hit it to the right side. No shifts in Eternal Baseball
Track
either.
3.
Sit down. As number 17, Keith Hernandez digs in.
Ooh.
Foul.
Ball.
Oh, and I guess I should have said it. It goes without saying, except I'm going to say it. Almost always, it's just showing us the last pitch of every at bat. So you don't have to sit through, ball in the dirt, he steps out. That's why we can get you the whole shebang done, usually in 60 minutes flat. There we go. 20%, Brent.
I don't think you can't even hit and run with Piazza, I don't think.
No, I think this is a straight swing. Herman Long's
sounded good.
It sounded good. He hit it hard, but right at Herman Long. All right, Daryl, 2 down. May as well swing.
Track 3.
Or not. Here's Herman Long, who's a fantastic bunter. So we're not going to let that happen.
He's Keith Hernandez.
He's also a 77% chance to steal. So we'll keep him a little closer. Now 85. Now 89.
Pitch out. He's itching.
There he goes.
Did we pitch out?
Yep. But he beat it anyway.
Pitched out without a throw.
he really wanted that base. Fine. We'll give it to you.
Ball.
Man.
Gooden's
Doc is struggling.
terribly sharp. He's only halfway to his pitch limit, so he's got plenty of thunder in that arm. Hugh Duffy, who's fast, grounds it to short to second. No throw to first, just one. Look at Hugh Duffy over there, 89% to steal second base.
All right, fake throw to third, throw to first.
I wish they don't give you that as an option.
That should be number 1 on their new feature list.
Because it never works.
There's got to be one clip on YouTube where it worked. Maybe like a little league game or something.
I don't know that I've ever seen a percentage this high. Duffy is 97% to steal second base.
Jeez.
Now, given Dwight's ridiculous leg kick, I can see that. But
The Mike Fetters move.
oh, that's a good idea. They had Fetters had that bit where he'd come set and then turn his head. And I remember a game when I was living in Arizona where they were getting killed. Fetters was on the team and Mark Grace went into pitch. And he did the Fetters thing every time. Like that. And the guys in the dugout were falling apart. All right, I'm going to pitch out with the old Duffy here because he's way too frisky. And he goes. Throw to second. Safe chance 34%. Yeah. I don't think this was a straight double steal. So we're going to throw through here. And we got him at second.
Wow, look at us.
Two
So
down.
Rob was saying he thinks it worked on Joey Gallo.
Oh, everything. I'll be honest with you. Everything worked on Joey Gallo when he was a Yankee. Holy smoke. By the way, happy birthday to Joey Gallo. I forgot to get to that. The Turtle Baseball guys with birthdays today. Dodgers catcher Roy Campanella, Phillies first baseman Ryan Howard, and Rangers outfielder Joey Gallo. Good for you guys. Here's Chipper Jones.
Ball four.
Walking.
Jeez.
Doc's a little off today. Yeah, walk him to pitch to Hank friggin' Aaron, who's 2 for 2 on the day.
Piazza's like, it's Hank Aaron. Just be careful. I don't know if you know this, but this guy's pretty good.
Hey, I know this guy's only been in the league a couple of years, but I see big things. All right, so we'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Here's David Wright.
Strike three.
Striking out. Mike Conforto.
Strike three.
Striking out. Pete Alonso. Okay, at least you hit it. That was quick. Here's Eddie Matthews. Good at 73 pitches. Doing fine, at least arm-wise. Crowd goes deathly silent. Okay. For Freddie Freeman.
Strike three.
Sitting down. Ronald Acuna Jr. You got a lot of that, Brent. I'll be honest with you.
That's enough for Dak. Dang it.
I always get nervous with those ones that just are bisecting the outfield. I'm like, oh, boy. So we're tied up at 3. No surprise that Acuna got a hold of one. Here's Brian McCann.
Uh-oh.
No, I think he's got it. All right.
Yeah, you don't mind it when, Acuna or Willie Mays or Mantle smokes one. It's like,
how many times has Willie Mays just murdered us? Right? Like, I get it. But you don't want it to be Ernie Witt. No offense, Ernie, but
right. Yeah, those are the ones that they're a little irritating. John Oliverwood with the 3-homer game against you.
Right. Oh, let's see here.
Did he just crush the Mets?
Yeah, he always murdered the Mets. That's why they would chant Larry at him.
Oh,
okay. That's his real first name.
Yeah.
Fonzie, great name.
Was it Piazza that refused to call him Chipper?
Maybe.
I think one of those catchers. He made a point to call him Larry every time. It's like I'm not calling a grown man Chipper.
All right, I'm feeling bunt with Reyes here. What do you think? One down, surprise him. No, we didn't surprise him. Oh, but Albies can't handle it.
Is he on second?
Nice. I'm sorry to tell you, Reyes took second, so you can't steal it. 51 to go to third, though.
You can't. 1 out. Not with the Ducks on the pond there.
Yeah, high game with a fast guy. He's already in scoring position. Here's Carlos Beltran.
Ball four.
Like he knew what was coming.
Now a double steal. Let's see. What do we got? 70.
Beltran 70%.
Oh, wait. Reyes took third.
On the walk?
What just happened there?
Oh, it was a wild pitch for ball 4.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can double steal. You can straight, or you can do it as like a safety steal.
I don't know.
Whenever I do that, the guy on third, even if the throw goes through, he never takes home. He always goes back to third.
Huh. So, okay. Well, I don't know. I guess we just take 2 shots at
getting the knock.
I mean,
or a sack fly, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got Hernandez, Piazza.
It's Keith friggin' Hernandez, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Rob was saying. He always said, hi, Larry. I love it.
That's cool. Well played, Mr. Piazza. All right, so we're swinging away with Keith. Look at that. Strategy that works again. Will Beltran take third? He's got a 36% chance to get in there, so I think he's good. We'll just leave him be. Yeah.
Cameron's our good angel on the shoulder, and I'm the
right.
I'm the little devil dude.
True. Yeah.
I've been playing long enough with Mark now that he keeps my poor impulses in check.
Yeah. I'm the Sun Devil on the other shoulder.
Piazza.
All right, 2 down, 2 on. Mets lead 4-3.
Strike three.
And Darryl sits down. Okay. Herman Long's one of their big bunters. Not falling for that.
Ball four.
Ah. Yeah, go ahead and walk the 8th hitter, leading off the inning, Dwight. We appreciate that. Dwight's at 94 pitches, so he'll probably get through this inning, but that's probably it. I'm going to try a pickoff here.
Safe.
Man, Herman Long takes it personal every time. It was 71. Now it's 83, 79. Pitch out. He's going. And he's in there.
Ooh, man, zero respect for Piazza.
Okay, finally.
Yeah, Cameron made a good point.
Third.
Cameron made a good point there.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we call, and somewhere watching the TV, NL Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell is watching closely because he's never seen anybody go through the third time. Yeah, what do they got coming up? Right switch, right. Is it too early to get somebody ready?
No.
Okay. So mainly righties and then a pair of lefties. So maybe we'll get 2 guys up. Their closer is Edwin Diaz. So everybody else is in play here.
I don't. As long as you get Jesse Orozco in there at some point,
All right.
I don't have any preference.
Orozco's the lefty.
Doesn't have to come in right now, but
We'll
I
get
just
Orozco.
would love to see Orozco make an appearance.
We'll get Orozco and Benitez warming up. Look at the Mets lefties: Orozco, John Franco, Randy Myers.
Is Viola on the Mets?
No, he's on the Twins.
Twins, gosh.
Yeah, more years in Minnesota, but he's barely on the Twins, which is ridiculous considering how good Frankie V was. But
I mean, that hairdo, outstanding.
The mustache.
I mean, he should have been one of the Doctor Who's at some point, right? Like,
Totally, man. Can you imagine how much that perm cost him every month back in the late 80s?
that's part of his contract. The writer in his contract.
Yep. He probably
his hairdresser came on every road trip.
He probably read liners right on the radio. I'm Tom Viola for Biff's Hair by Men.
Frankie V.
Ozzy Albies. I don't think that's going to do anything. We'll see if Herman takes third.
I see strawberry underneath the ball.
We got a 33% chance to get Long at third, and the only downside is if the throw gets away. So we got to roll those dice. Yeah. Slide. Safe.
Ooh.
Oh, we can challenge the ruling on the field.
Yes.
There's no downside to this. So, yeah, we are going to challenge it. He's out. Get out.
Look at Strawberry with the outfield assist. Player of the day tomorrow, just for that.
Totally forgot about that ball that went through the wickets in the first inning. 2 down, Hugh Duffy, the bunter, but not with 2 down.
Ball four.
Hugh Duffy looks so uncomfortable in his photo.
He looks like he's wearing one of the lace-up hockey jerseys, right? Or a bolo tie. But he's another base stealer, so we'll try to keep him close. Man, this guy. Fine.
This guy.
Pitch out, now 94%.
Oh, my word.
92. I taught him.
Can you do a pick throw?
I did 2 pitch outs.
Snap throw? Snap throw
No, there's no button for that. He waited me out. Oh, I was struck out Chipper Jones. Sorry, Larry. Good to see you. David Wright leading off. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to forget about our relievers. I don't want them to burn to death in the pen. Michael Conforto. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's a good point.
Classic. It'll come back someday.
Look at Conforto, proving all the Mets fans wrong. He does belong. All right.
You can't hit and run with Alonso either. Dang it.
No,
God,
no, you can't.
This lineup. Did he get it?
That, though.
He got it. It's got
That's off the wall, though.
Send him.
79%.
Yes, send him.
All right. Yeah, he's in. Outstanding. Right. Way to go, Pete. He said Gardo Alfonso with a dribbler. All right, fine. Oh, Lonzo takes third. That's heads up base running right there.
That's gutsy.
Jose Reyes. We could squeeze if you want.
Let's do it.
You want to do that?
What, like a safety squeeze? Like what's the
It's
squeeze
not even
bunt for a hit?
It's not even giving me an option here. Look, it's not even. It's blacked out. Maybe they're protecting us.
Like this is a really bad idea.
Yeah. All right. Fine. We'll just hit.
Ball four.
All right. Oh.
Things are getting interesting.
89% for Jose Reyes, Roto.
Ooh, who's up?
Beltron, 0 for 2.
I'm here.
Double steal it.
That would be so gutsy. I love it. Your call.
We'll do a delayed second and home. So
All right.
Alonso's not taking off when Reyes takes off. McCann's like, look out for the steal, man.
They're up to something.
If we send him home, we got a 13% chance. I think that's not happening.
Unless.
Save
All
a
right.
second.
All right, Beltran.
About time. Carlos.
Take
Oh, fine.
Get that bum out of here.
I know, right? All
Who do
right.
we have on the bench?
It looks like Gooden's at 104 pitches. His max is 130. We got Hank Aaron and then 2 lefties. So it might be Gooden and Aaron, and then Orozco comes in to face the 2 lefties.
Perfect.
All right. Because if I pull Gooden for Armando Benitez, the Mets fans are coming for me. Nobody likes Armando Benitez. Tap to third. Oh, an error on right. The throw pulled Hernandez off the bag.
All right. Come on, Jesse.
Pitching for New York, number 47, Jesse Orozco.
Yeah, that's from when he threw the glove, right? In 86, right when they won. Benitez is getting tired because he's been in the bullpen for so long. So we're going to sit him down. If we have to go to a right-hander. Well, we don't have to go to a right-hander, but if we do, it would be David Cone, who can't crack their rotation.
That's pretty good. Myers, Franco, Diaz. That's pretty legit.
Bullpen. Yeah. Their pen's pretty good. And I'm a big Cone fan. He just doesn't quite crack the Mets top 5. All right, so here's Eddie Matthews. Ugh. With a stand-up double. Up 5-3. Here's Freddie Freeman.
Strike 3.
Sitting down. Acuna's better against lefties than righties. If I do a mound visit to burn some time. Oh, Roscoe looks tired, so he's done anyway.
Yeah, Cameron remembers Cone from.
Oh yeah, KC. He's from
pitching for New York.
Cone was
number
from
44,
KC.
David.
Idolized Dennis Leonard, their stud in the 70s. Got drafted, came up, got traded to the Mets. His first year in KC, hit free agency, signed with Kansas City, and they traded him to Toronto. So I guess it wasn't meant to be. So here comes Cone against Acuna. Who's behind him? McCann. So you can pitch around a guy if you'd rather face McCann than Acuna.
You think, try to get a double play? It might be.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of the 2 more likely to stab us in the heart.
Yeah.
Probably this guy. So
I agree.
We will pitch around him. I hit it anyway. 3% chance to get the out at home. I think we'll just go to second or the first.
Yeah.
All right. Throw home? No.
Yeah, Cameron has that's interesting about the strike, huh?
Oh, that's a good point. And Cone was crazy pro-union. Smart guy. That's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So here's Brian McCann against David Cone.
Strike 3.
Sitting down. Very nice. Oh. mean, it wouldn't be the 7th inning stretch without it. Dun, dun, dun.
Towing the slab, huh?
Yep. He has a good one.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't heard it.
Yeah. Coach put out a book, too. It was really good. Now, here's one of the pitfalls of the computer controlling a team. They tend to stick with starting pitchers longer than you probably should. But as Rob will attest to, and Brent remembers, closers get lit up more often than you'd expect in this game. So maybe it knows what it's doing. So, but with Tommy Bond at 101 pitches and a max of 120, we're going to take over Atlanta here for just a second, just to get their bullpen working. So, hey, John Rocker.
John Rocker.
Nice to see you, I guess. And they have
Phil Negro, man, I love it.
They have a lot of starters that bleed over into their bullpen.
Where's Gene Garber?
We made him inactive for Tommy Bond. So he is on the list.
Love me some Garber.
I think we'll go in the middle here. Get Vic Willis right. That's fine. Okay, so all we're doing is getting a lefty and a righty up, and then we give control back to him. Raboski? Of course we've got the Mad Hungarian, but he's in St. Louis, man. Most players are allocated to just one team, and it's where they played most of their career in almost all circumstances. So that's where you'll find Mr. Raboski.
You can imagine the reception Rocker would get if he came into.
Right. Do you think you could have Rocker and Raboski on the same team? Come on now. Here's Keith. It's always hard to tell on the center field hits, but Duffy is there. Mike Piazza. Yeah, that doesn't have the distance. I wonder if Tommy Bond threw the bat at him. All right, I'm going to guess with Bond down to 10 pitches left, maximum, he's probably scuffling. And we got the Mets' best hitter, a left-hander up, who's weaker, obviously, against left-handers. So don't mind me, Atlanta, while I take control of your team. But it really is for your own good. Wait, not that, this. Come on in, John Rocker. Oh, he looks
Pitching
great.
for Atlanta, number 49, John Rocker.
Does John Rocker have a podcast too?
Right? Yes. But don't let your kids listen to it. But lost in all of Rocker's activities. Dynamite pitcher for a couple of years. So let's see what it looks like. A dribbler to third. Eddie Mack
Wrong guy.
with it. And
review it.
We can. Look at that.
Hey.
Looks like it was a bad call. Let's see. Safe at first.
Hey.
And now 72% chance to steal, Roto. With 2 down.
Ooh, I think you got to send him.
Off he goes.
It was a terrible jump.
He's in there.
All right.
35 to take third.
Yeah, Rouse right. He probably would just. They probably threw with both arms at some point there.
That's a good point. Let me just check this because we do have a lefty in now. So, do the Mets have any lefty killers? Yeah, Cespedes and McNeil. I mean, they don't have a third baseman anywhere near as good defensively.
We can't have a Mets podcast without the Kevin McReynolds question.
Right? He's in there. He's just not active. You could pinch hit either Yoenis, I would say it wrong, Cespedes, or Jeff McNeil.
Your call, man.
Now you know what? Right's actually better than them against lefties, so it's a no-brainer. We're letting him hit.
Was it the Post that queried if he was fat? Was that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Their headline was, "Is McReynolds fat?" Because he was kind of borderline, right? Like, yeah, only in New York. So they walked right to get to Conforto. All right. So
huge mistake. 3 for 3.
So we're looking at our OPS, though. Conforto is normally platooning in left with Cespedes. Cespedes plays against lefties. So do you pinch hit Cespedes, whose OPS is 987 against lefties, for, geez, where is he? Conforto's 797. I think that's a no-brainer.
All right, do it, man.
All right. So this would be
pinch hitting for New York, number 52, Yoenis Cespedes.
I got to work on that. I'll try to get that cleaned up. But it is his first at bat ever in Eternal Baseball. No pressure.
Strike 3.
Oh,
pan to the view of his parents and girlfriend. Extremely disappointed.
At least we don't have to bring in somebody to play left. Now, in the 8th, they don't really have any other shortstops. I think Chipper's the backup at shortstop. So I think Long's got to play. Yeah. Yeah, it probably was. All right. Herman Long hits it a long way, but not enough. Darrellson. Here's Ozzie Albies.
Feeling pretty good with Cone on the mound right now.
Not bad, right?
Man, can of corn.
Here comes the top of the order, though. I'm hoping Cone can get through this 8th. And then it's Edwin Diaz time. Play the trumpet. Cone did quite well. Good for him.
Rob.
Hey, John Smoltz, who pitches out of their pen, which is kind of ridiculous, has taken over.
Pitching for Atlanta, number 29, John Smoltz.
Oh, no.
Alonso, no. All right, so now's the time if you're the Mets. Actually, we give it one more out because Edwin Diaz can only throw 25 pitches. I don't want him getting tired of the pen. Fonzie gives it a ride, but not enough. Now we get our bullpen going. Edwin Diaz missed the whole Mets season, which the rest of the Mets fans wish they had too. Just saying. Here's Jose Reyes. So we go to the 9th. Stop me if you've seen this movie before. Up 5-4. Bringing in the closer.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Number 39, Edwin Diaz.
So, Roto, which left-handed reliever do you want ready for when Diaz blows up? Do you want
John Franco.
Okay. I saw an old picture of him with the Reds because he has had really good years in Cincinnati before he came over. Clean shaven. He looks ridiculous.
Wow.
Got to have a mustache on Franco. All right, here's Chipper Jones.
The heart of the lineup, too.
Yeah, right. Rob knows what's up. Beltran. Not in the game for his bat, obviously. No big deal. Here's Hank Aaron. You want to pitch around him, or?
I think you just go at him.
Oh, boy. Oh, he gets him.
Oh, I can't look.
2 down. Eddie Matthews.
Strike 3.
Oh, what?
We are 1-0.
I'm shell shocked right now.
right?
New York 5, Atlanta 4. Dwight Gooden is the winner. He is now 2-0. Tommy Bond picks up the loss. He is now 1-1. Edwin Diaz gets the save. Number 1, Ronald Acuna Jr. hit home run number 1 on the season. Darryl Strawberry hit number 1. Time of the game, 2 hours, 59 minutes.
Not bad. If you scroll down here on our box scores, the one thing that's a little funky is this STF column. That means stuff. Every pitcher has a chance to be better than average or below average, depending on the day. It's like real baseball. Some days you don't have your best stuff. So a plus means better than expected. 2 pluses means a lot better. Same way with the minuses. So we danced around Orozco and Diaz having bad days.
Rocker was he took it in. The beratement from the, from the Mets fans.
Yeah, they hadn't seen him in a while, but they remembered him. And then at the bottom, they give us
internalize it.
Player of the game, Darryl Strawberry, not much doubt there. So there you go. Hey, it's actually, if you're new, that's actually rarer than you might think. That we went to our closer, and so we love it. You can go back and watch it later on YouTube if you don't believe it happened, because it is a little more rare than it should be. But that's how it goes down. We ran a little bit long this week, but we were kicking off the entire season. Normally, we're right at about an hour, barring extra innings. But we bring you the Eternal Baseball Podcast every Sunday night at 9. We appreciate you guys joining us here today. Good to see some new voices in the comments.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. That was fun.
Yeah, we got a lot more people following us. Picked up a lot this offseason, so we're excited to have you. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, you can catch box scores on the team-specific message boards at eternalbaseball.com every day except Fridays. That's when the Eternal Baseball newsletter comes out. That's totally free, too. You can sign up for that at eternalbaseball.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on X/Twitter. And the very best way you can help us, there's lots of ways you can help us. We have a coffee page. But if you can share the things we post, there's no better endorsement than you guys reaching out to your own baseball friends and saying, hey, this is kind of cool. I think you'll like it. So help us out with likes and shares, and we certainly appreciate it. And it's been our pleasure.
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks, everyone.
So we will see you again next week for another exciting episode of the Eternal Baseball Podcast.